Foreign language skills. Intermediate. Module 5. Human Psychology and Business World. 5.1.
Business isn't so good at the moment. In fact, it's the worst time for businesses for decades. Many businesses are going bust because of the global financial crisis. Even sound businesses like the car industry and electronics are going through a really bad time. Many small businesses have gone out of business. It's a real shame because so many lives are being ruined. With a lot of businesses, it's a real fight for survival. I really respect people for trying to make a go of their business. I don't have much business sense. I wouldn't know where to start in opening my own business. I suppose the best thing would be to look at business startups on the internet. An online business might be good. There seems to be less risk.
5.2.
I'd like to know more about psychology. I think it's a very interesting subject to study. I'd like to know why I do the things I do. Looking at how the brain works and how we behave might make me understand people more. I'd particularly like to study child psychology. I love looking at children playing, thinking, drawing, doing anything really. But what makes them tick? What goes on in their little minds? Or perhaps I should say their big minds. If we all knew more about child psychology, perhaps we could do more to be a positive influence on children. Being a psychologist must be a very interesting job. Listening to people talk all day and then analyzing their behavior. I wonder if they ever get bored.
5.3.
Sachiko.
Francesco, is everything okay?
Yes. Sorry. I saw you and I was across the street. I ran.
I see. What's up?
Do you have the tickets for the play?
No, I don't. I'm going to buy them this afternoon.
Oh, good. Listen, don't buy tickets for this Friday.
Oh, why not?
I can't go to the theatre on Friday. Something's come up. I have a concert this Friday.
Another concert? But you said...
I know. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Francesco.
How about next week? Are you free then? I can definitely go next Friday.
Francesco, you did this 2 weeks ago, remember? I had cinema tickets for the new Marvel movie, and you changed the plans them too, for band practice.
I know, and
We also missed my favorite dance group, because your band was playing at some child's birthday party.
It was my nephew's birthday. Okay, why don't we go out for dinner before my concert? Then next Friday, we can go to the play.
Oh.
Come on, Sachi. Just this one more time.
Okay, but promise me next Friday, okay?
I promise.
5.4.
In North America, many young people attend high school, college, or university. But during the summer months, most of those students work at a summer job. For most students, there are no classes during the months of July and August, and sometimes none in May and June also. Having a summer job allows students to make money that they will need during the rest of the year. They need this money because it costs a lot of money to pay for university or college. Of course, students also want money to spend on things that are fun also. Many students have summer jobs that involve working with children. For example, some students work at children's camps, where they teach children various skills and games. Some students work as lifeguards at swimming pools and at beaches. Some students do heavy work in their summer jobs. For example, some students find jobs as construction workers. Other students work in factories, and some students work on farms. There are other students who find jobs mowing lawns or collecting trash. Quite a few students work in stores. Some of these students have jobs as cashiers, and some have jobs putting products on store shelves. Other students work in restaurants, as waiters or as cooks. Other students work in offices. Some of them work as assistants for other employees. Their tasks might include typing letters, programming computers, or delivering mail. Some students enjoy their summer jobs very much, and they find those jobs to be a pleasant break from studying. Other students do not really enjoy summer jobs, but find their jobs to be a nice way to make new friends. But nearly all students who have summer jobs are pleased to have the chance to earn some extra money.
5.5.
Good morning, everyone. On today's show, we've got Chris Benson with us, the author of No More 9 to 5, the new best-selling book about work-life balance in the current working world. Good morning, Chris. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, Anna.
So, Chris, tell us about your book and how the concept of a work-life balance has been changing.
Well, in the more traditional workplaces, people's working lives and their private lives are, or were, clearly divided. People often work from 9 in the morning until 5 or 6 in the evening. People sometimes stay late in the office and work in the evenings. This is called working overtime.
Okay, and what else?
Well, in these environments, it isn't common for people to work at the weekend or while they're on holiday. They can clearly separate their working lives and their private lives. And the evenings, weekends, and holidays are free to focus on non-work areas of life, such as hobbies, interests, sports, spending time with the family and friends, and so on. It's important and healthy not to spend all your time just working, right?
Right. So, what has changed? How are things different now?
Well, for a start, most people can now access their work emails from their mobile phones, so they are more likely to quickly reply to an important mail in the evening or at the weekend. The same goes for laptops. It's easier to access your work in the evenings from home or even from your hotel when you're on holiday.
That doesn't sound like much of a work-life balance. It sounds like all work.
Exactly. But this new mobility brings a lot of advantages with it. More people are now able to work flexibly. So if they need to leave the office early one afternoon to be with their family, they can catch up on work that evening from home or somewhere else.
That sounds good. So what you're saying is that although traditional divisions between work and life are fading, many employees now have more freedom to do their work from different locations and at different times.
Yes, that's it.
5.6.
Stress is a common factor in our daily lives, but some jobs send our stress levels to the max. While we all think our jobs are the most stressful, some are proven to be worse than others. To find out what they are and whether you're in one of these highly stressful careers, continue watching. Stressful jobs are also rewarding ones. That said, to succeed in one of these positions, you'll need to be up for the challenge.
5.7.
Once again, the organisation which promotes Australia, Tourism Australia, is advertising the best job in the world. But this year, they have 6 jobs going, all for 6 months, with a great salary and extra spending money. If you think one of these is your dream job, you have to make a 30-second video explaining why you are the best person for the role. But be warned, thousands of people will be competing for each post. The job of Outback Adventurer is for someone with a passion for outdoor life. And in the Northern Territory, there are plenty of wide open spaces. The job is for someone to find out the best adventures and jobs for young people on working holidays. You'd be getting close to wildlife, sleeping under the stars in a bush camp, and flying over stunningly beautiful landscape in a hot air balloon. Your duties will include getting to know about Aboriginal culture and eating traditional bush foods, maybe including the famous witchetty grubs, insect larvae. Like the idea of 200 days of sunshine every year? Job number 2 is a park ranger in tropical Queensland. It's a wonderful state with ancient rainforests, the world's largest sand island, and the awesome Great Barrier Reef. Here, your duties would include protecting and promoting native plants and animals, spectacular waterfalls, dinosaur fossils, untouched beaches, and indigenous culture. You'd get paid to patrol the beaches of Lizard Island and live a life most people can only dream about. Another island job is as wildlife caretaker on Kangaroo Island in South Australia. If you love all kinds of animals, this is the job for you. The advert says you'll be able to talk to wallabies, a kind of small kangaroo, play with dolphins, cuddle koalas, and sunbathe with seals on the unspoilt beach at Seal Bay. You would get about the island on foot, by bicycle, kayak or boat, taking photos and leaving only footprints. There is one potential drawback though. You'd need to be pretty brave since you might come face to face with great white sharks. Maybe you are not quite so keen on the great outdoors and your talents are more journalistic. If you fancy feature writing, photography, and making videos, you can apply for the position of lifestyle photojournalist for Time Out in Melbourne. You would be required to photograph and write about the city's coolest cafes and musical events. But you'd also cover tourist activities in the whole state of Victoria, including surfing on the Great Ocean Road, skiing at Mount Hotham, or watching the little penguins at Phillip Island. Are you a foodie? Do you know about food as well as love eating it? If the answer's yes, you can apply for the role of Taste Master in Western Australia. Your job will be to promote the best restaurants, pubs, wineries, and breweries. You'd also catch fresh seafood off the beautiful coast and learn all about making wine and beer. Finally, a fantastic job in Sydney. We've all seen those amazing firework displays in Sydney Harbour. Well, you could be one of the people making that happen next year. New South Wales is looking for a chief funster who would be based in Sydney while travelling around the state and tweeting about the coolest things going on. This job would appeal to someone interested in everything: sports, the arts, entertainment, food. You'd also be involved in making the Sydney Festival, Mardi Gras, and Vivid Festival as spectacular and as fun as possible.
5.8.
I think technology in general has been worked into everyone's day-to-day life.
It is the first thing I do when I wake up and when I go to bed.
It's easy to just pick up your phone, turn it on.
Call a ride and just go wherever you want.
New places to eat, new places to explore.
It's great to stay in touch.
I met my girlfriend on online dating apps, so I'd say that's a positive right there.
Do you feel like you're in control of technology or is technology in control of you?
Oof.
Oh, it's definitely more in control of me.
My biggest issue with it is knowing when to stop.
5 and 10 minutes here and there, I feel like takes up a bunch of my day.
I feel like it's in control of me, like if my phone's dead for like half the day or something and I'm going crazy.
I think my math grade is the way it is because of my phone.
Now I notice my eyes are like a little, like I blink a little bit more, they get tired.
He should just throw his phone away.
Usually I feel in control of technology. Usually
I can catch myself and be like, you need to chill out.
I think you have to set a limit and say that you control the phone, it doesn't control you.
I'd say most people hate on technology, but if you're using it for good things, I think it's really helpful.
Well, we think it's important that they do have access to it and learn it.
Technology is not so much as a necessary evil, it's a necessary good that could go either way. You know, the jury's out. It's up to us as to what we do with the technology.
5.9.
If you want to work your way to becoming a millionaire, then you're in luck if you have one of these high-paying jobs. That said, getting a good paycheck also comes with a lot of hard work and dedication. So, let's find out if you have what it takes to land one of the jobs on this list. Number 10. Marketing Manager. As a marketing manager, you'll be responsible for the brand's profile and awareness. Your role will usually entail monitoring budgets, managing a team of employees, launching campaigns, and analyzing the results. If you're a people's person with creative ideas, you'll excel in a marketing role. Number 9. Corporate Lawyer. If you're an aspiring lawyer, consider specializing in corporate law, as it pays exceptionally well. As a corporate lawyer, you'll counsel businesses on their legal rights and responsibilities, while also handling any legal issues like liability, ownership, employment, and contracts. Number 8. IT Systems Manager. In today's technological world, IT workers hold great power and responsibility, which is why IT system managers are among the highest paid workers. They're an integral part of any business model whose primary responsibility is to protect the office network from malware and hackers while solving company-wide technical issues. Number 7. Engineering Manager. Engineer managers are in charge of supervising different projects and liaising between their clients and their staff members. While this position is high-paying, it can only be obtained with years of experience, so you'll need a degree as well as time spent on the job. Number 6. CEO. Got a great idea, funding, and years of business experience? Why not invest in your own business and become the CEO? You'll be responsible for leading the company's various departments, making vital business decisions, and leading the company culture and ethics. Number 5. Dentist. If you're dedicated to giving someone the perfect smile, then you should consider becoming a dentist. While it's among the top 5 highest paying jobs in the world, you will need to go through dentistry school and gain lots of experience before you can start earning the big bucks. Number 4. Orthodontist. Similar to a dentist, an orthodontist is responsible for aligning teeth, treating dental disorders, and fixing crooked smiles. While orthodontists go through the same training as dentists, they will also need to complete a postgraduate orthodontics course. Number 3. Physician. As a physician, you will generally be working in a doctor's surgery and act as a patient's first point of contact when they have a medical issue. Through 4 years of studying and by completing a residency program, you'll obtain a wide array of knowledge that can help treat a simple cold or a rare disease. Number 2. Surgeon. Surgeons are highly trained medical professionals who perform surgical procedures. The surgeries will vary depending on your chosen field that you've specialized in. That said, the job is not easy, and you may be required to perform long surgeries that are a matter of life or death. Number 1. Anesthesiologist. Like surgeons, anesthesiologists are trained physicians who specialize in perioperative care. They're responsible for administering the anesthesiology to ensure that patients are asleep during the surgery. It usually takes up to 13 years to qualify as an anesthesiologist, so there's no surprise that it's one of the highest paid professions across the globe. As you can see, high-paying jobs require extensive studies and experience. To succeed in one of these positions, you'll need to be up for the challenge.
5.10.
I want to talk about my experience of moving out and living on my own. Moving out to live on your own is not very common in Hong Kong. Many people still choose to live with their parents even though they have a decent job and they're already at their 30s. Many of them would stay with their parents until they get married. There are several reasons behind. Firstly, Hong Kong's rent is expensive. Many people would rather save up more money to purchase an apartment instead of renting one. Secondly, the Chinese traditional value of family is that the parents are the ones who brought you up. When you become an adult, you should also take good care of your parents and you should spend more time to be with them. And of course, there are people who are still dependent on their parents for food, clothing, household chores, etc. When I tell people about the idea of moving out, many people's reaction is like, what do your parents say? Because they assume the parents would not like their children to leave them. Well, I don't know if my parents like it, but I can tell you my parents support and respect my decision. They think it is good for me to try and live on my own, and then I would know it is the best to stay with my family. The most important reason for independent living is to save the traveling time to work. It used to take me 1 hour 15 minutes to travel to work from my previous living place. From my new apartment, it just takes me 30 minutes, so I saved 45 minutes traveling time. I don't have to get up so early, and I save 2/3 of my traveling cost. It does not only save my time to travel for work, but also for most of the places in Hong Kong. In addition, I gain my personal space and freedom by independent living. I make my own decision all the time. I do not have to say whether I will go home for dinner. I can invite my friends to come up and stay late. Of course, there are some trade-offs in living on your own. If you want to rent an apartment, there are lots of preparatory works to do. You have to keep visiting the apartments to search for your ideal one. You have to negotiate with the landlord about the price, furniture inclusion, who is responsible for the maintenance of the furniture and equipments. My experience was that after we moved into the apartment, it was not until the kitchen cupboard was soaked with water that we found out there was water leakage in the kitchen sink. Money is the main issue in living on your own. You have to be responsible for all the expenses, for example, the rent, electricity, gas, water, telephone, internet bills, etc. Therefore, you gotta be well prepared and save up for your bills. Although I find my transportation time much shorter, the saved time is spent on other things such as cooking and some other household chores. I think preparing and cooking the food do occupy a significant portion of my time. Therefore, I always try to make simple meals. On the other hand, I have to regularly tidy up my apartment and wash my clothes, so it doesn't really save much of my time after all. Now everything is settled down. I'm getting used to my new life and I'm enjoying it. I feel that moving out makes it easier for me to strike a balance between my work, my social life, my study, and my family. It may be troublesome, but it may worth.
5.11.
Great Britain is a country full of bright business ideas, and the people behind these ideas are great entrepreneurs. Through hard work, risk, and dedication, they become some of the most successful people in the world, and I'm off to meet a few of them. Oxford is home to one of the world's greatest entrepreneurs, Sir Richard Branson. He's one of the best known faces of business in Britain and Britain's 4th richest citizen. Wonder where I am on that list. Richard Branson's success started when he opened his first record shop in Oxford Street, London in 1971, and he never looked back. His success rocketed, from launching his own record label, Virgin Records, to creating the hugely successful Virgin Atlantic Airways, and he's now worth an estimated $4.2 billion. I've been lucky enough to be invited to Richard Branson's home, and I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping to find out the secret of his success. Thank you very much. Thank you. So Richard, you are one of the world's greatest entrepreneurs, not just in Britain. How have you achieved this?
Well, by having a blast, having a lot of fun, trying to create ventures that really make a difference to other people's lives. Not being afraid to give it a go. Sometimes falling flat on my face, sometimes succeeding.
So in your eyes, what makes a good entrepreneur?
An entrepreneur is somebody who sees a gap in the market and feels that people are not being treated well and gets in there and fills that gap. An entrepreneur is somebody who believes in what they're doing 100%, who acts with integrity, who realizes that their reputation's all they've got in life, and sets about to create a great brand.
Richard's entrepreneurial spirit has led to Virgin's success, and he's not alone. Britain is a great place to do business. Any advice for me?
Don't try to do everything yourself. Try to find people who are better than you. Learn the art of delegation early on. Make sure that all the people who are working for you have fun in what they're doing, because 90% of your life seems to be spent at work. So make sure it's enjoyable. And screw it, just do it. Just get on with it.